so much.
Sorry, what?
I'm gonna miss all of you so much.
So much.
We're gonna miss you too when you die.
Yeah.
Also,
Nothing to
bleed.
joke about. Alright.
What a sad
Here we go.
situation. Hey, welcome back to Nat19. Time to see who's going to give us our recap. Yormir, what happened? What happened last time on Nat19?
Woke up after all the fucking.
Accurate.
And fucking. And yeah, and then Suzume sucked some people in, and it was great.
Oh dear, you're certainly a hindrance, aren't you? Get out of my sight then. And she's going to go for an attack. Yeah! And she hits! She fires a bolt down. Suzume tries to dodge it. Suzume gets hit by it, taking, minimum damage. Good job, Suzume. Suzume's gonna go. Is there anything that you guys want Suzume to do? She gets hit by this bolt of radiant energy. She slides back like a couple of feet from the impact of it. She digs into the ground with her sword to stop it. It seems to affect her more than you think. You know Ryder's divine, Suzume's demonic. It doesn't, I'm not even gonna make you roll to reach the conclusion that Ryder probably has effectively type advantage against Suzume. Y'all got any different Pokemon? Any that are good against fairies?
Oh.
Yeah, but they're under-leveled.
You helped deal with my father figure. Time to return the favor, I suppose. And she is going to charge Quantavius. First attack goes. She rushes forward, she strikes him, dealing 30 damage. As she strikes him, her weapon appears to do nothing.
We have no chance.
And Dad fucking wins the goddamn war.
I'm so frightened.
Yes. Die. Die to make me happy.
Why? Why
Let
would
me
she lie?
feast on their sadness.
What are you going for there? What's this going to be? What's this thing you're doing? Fucking Quantavius sees a big green circle appear. What is this? What are you doing? What is this thing?
He sees the code.
What are you planning?
Son.
I don't like that.
Son.
No. No, no, no.
Oh no.
No, 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 no. What is this? I don't understand. What is this? When did you learn Meteor Swarm? He fucking just sees this circle appear, looks at Ian. Now let's not be hasty.
Okay. I'm just gonna use Starfall on a bunch of the scrubs.
Oh, fuck.
Hey, Dad, remember this?
No, I have no idea what that is.
Talking about.
And remember this? No.
No.
Forget.
5 meteors descend upon the Oni. 2 of them are dead. Yeah, the 2 that were looking pretty okay before, these 5 large arcs of light fall down like meteors from the sky, striking into them. Leaves and flowers are upturned, and foliage begins blowing in the wind as the area is disrupted. Remaining 1 that failed but survived is now prone.
Alright, I'll shoot that off, look to Susan, man. It's like, I trust you. We'll back you up.
Alright, Quantavius's simulacrum's gonna go. He takes out 3 vials at once, all of which have these differing rainbow patterns, each one with different focuses on different colors. He flips them into his palm and cracks them all together. I apologize for what you're about to feel. And he is going to cast Prismatic Spray on all of you.
Again, Dad! Quotations, Dad!
On...
Oh, right, I'm still concentrating on Spider Climb.
Isla, you take 18 damage. If you tell your servant to back off and have them die, we don't have to fight.
Come on.
Are you serious?
I'll kill you if I have to. There's ultimately no consequence to doing so. But we can stop this anytime you want to.
Unless you're willing to give up this idiotic plan, there's nothing to discuss.
Ian, why are you even talking to him? It's not Dad.
Indeed. Even if you somehow convinced me.
Alright.
That said, it's not like I don't understand the weight of what I'm doing. That's why I couldn't face you myself. Yo, Lancer. Shoulder.
Holy fucking shit. I'm sorry, guys.
Was that like your fire alarm?
Yes, it was.
Oh. Okay, are you just about ready then?
I don't suppose there's any more purpose in delaying.
Yeah. So, Problem with your request, by the way. You expect me to destroy the Grail in this entire facility with your master in there if I beat you?
If you beat me, he's no longer my master.
Oh, I love you guys. Alright. Ready or not then, here I come. He rushes forward, appears behind you. He goes for a slash. You manage to dodge out of the way of the attack as he goes for it. You hear him let out and then he goes for another attack. That one hits. He's gonna go for his third attack, goes for it. You dodge roll away as he drives the great sword into the ground underneath you. He brings it up, carves it through the earth, trying to slash upwards, and you dodge out of the way of that one. Look at you go. Goes for his last attack on you, and hits. With this one, he takes the sword out, and he gulf swings it through the ground, striking you, knocking you away from him as he hits you. Boof.
Guys, what do those look like?
This one has a bow.
They're a servant like that?
There's an Asha.
This one looks like they have this orb, and
Yeah.
he
They're
looks
all
off
bas-
toward the 8th direction, the one that doesn't have anything. Suzume?
Back to the reality marble we go. My Suzume
Alright.
people.
Yeah, boy.
What layer action would you like her to take?
Okay. Fuck.
Should she plunge
I
right
feel
there?
she should definitely plunge right in.
So she's gonna use plunge then. There's no rolls associated with that. All creatures with a fly speed immediately fall. So Suzume takes one of her hands and she forces it onto the ground. As she does, the area shudders. Mostly everybody is unaffected by it. Ryder lets out this very girlish and she, I see. You're more trouble than you're worth, demon. So in this case, she's gonna take 2 strands of hair out and fire both at Suzume. She hits. As she does, the demon that is with Suzume tries to wrap around her and stop it, but as one of the arrows hits her, the arm is blown off the demon. It begins to reform out of blue fire, but as it does, that and the second attack both make contact with her. And Suzume does not care for this damage. She looks like she's not enjoying this.
Fuck. Oh no!
Oh fuck! Oh fuck!
Enough that she is hit by it. The demon is blown apart entirely. The demon's blown apart entirely. Suzume hits the ground, rolls around to the center of it. You actually see a very large gash get blown out of her shoulder, enough that if it was the normal person, their arm would just fall off. And then we are gonna go to Suzume, who's gonna make a death save. If you guys remember, death saves against servants are DC 15, so I'm just gonna have her roll the D20. Oof. She fails one. Focus on the servant, Ryder. As long as they don't have a contract, they can't get to the real me.
Shut the fuck up, not dad! I'm gonna get to her. No, oh.
You gonna get over there? You gonna use a potion on Suzume?
Yeah.
What potion?
The Supreme.
Alright, go ahead and throw it on Suzume in the combat tracker.
Okay.
Alright.
That's really good.
You rush over to her, you use it, she recovers 81 hit points. I said not to worry about me.
We need you to stay with us, Suzume.
Save your resources. You'll need them after this. She struggles to stand back up. What happens to me here is inconsequential. What comes after is most important for you.
We can't fight Ryder without you.
I know.
Why can't anybody just be clear about what their intentions are?
She is. She's saying, don't heal me. That's fucking clear.
But why?
Why? I can't leave her down. I can't, dude.
Don't heal me, because you need your stuff for actual dad. Boo.
Then if she said what her plan was, I would keep my shit.
Her plan's to die.
I'm pretty sure that's what her fucking plan is.
I'm trying to make Deco unhappy, is what I'm doing. So this one's gonna go ahead and attack Yorman. It's not that.
I'm gonna cut you off at the pass here.
Okay. Shield.
Yep.
All right, but here's the thing about that.
Alright.
Well, it's still gonna try. It misses its first attack. It goes in for the second one. Misses the second one. What is your AC?
28 with shield.
28.
Holy shit!
Yeah.
My AC was gross.
Yeah, man, I made him to be gross.
What a
Holy
beautiful boy.
shit.
Servant time.
I
Or,
want a
why did I say
paladin.
servant time? Ian time. Ian, you're a servant in my
Am
mind.
I a servant now?
New servant! Assassin! A bolt of lightning strikes the ground. Assassin with Mjolnir rises.
I finally obtained the great weapon. I'm here, my masters.
I could hit all 4 of them with Starfall. Yeah, that seems like the best thing to do.
Yet
Could
more
you also
Starfall.
do it? Kill him!
I would not be surprised.
Kill our not
Kill our
dead.
father.
Kill our fake father, who's actually a snowman.
Fake
He's the
fair.
most snowman.
It's actually a snowman.
Like,
Like,
as the snowman.
You're right.
As he's getting weaker, more and more snowman features start to come out. So, like, his nose is a carrot and shit.
Jesus Christ.
His eyes turned into little buttons.
Happy birthday!
All right.
Let's load another purple shell into my gun and fire it into.
Fuck him up.
Right.
Heckin', you didn't fuck him up as much.
No, but you can still do a little
We
bit.
told you to fuck him up, fam.
That's
I mean,
a
he
really
did.
good roll.
You really fucked him up.
Quantavious is dead.
You call Starfall down. It strikes several of the demons. The one in front of you, the burst of light just burns it apart. One of it streaks towards Quantavious and like blasts through him. A large chunk of his chest and his right arm are just eviscerated and blown off. That's fine. Just make sure they don't make it inside. As long as they don't have their servant, they can't reach the Grail, Ryder. And he turns. His expression becomes very soft suddenly. And thank you for taking pity on somebody as pathetic as me. Which Ryder briefly flips her hair and looks away from Quantavious. She herself fires a single bolt of radiant energy through him, blasting what's left of him away. And he is heckin' out of here. You never even got to cast haste on Ryder.
Good.
Be gone, fake dad.
Fuck you, fake dad.
By the way, right before Starfall hit Dad, Ian just like turns his head quickly because he does not want to see that, even if it's his fake dad.
Oh, I was watching.
Yes.
I'll say this, somebody else might need the healing letter. Yormir comes up, smashes him on the back, lay on hands and full heal!
Have 3 hit points.
Alright. Moving back out to where Saber and the others are. So, Lancer. Saber's gonna use one of his attacks. He raises up his greatsword, flips it around, and drives it into the ground to cause this large explosion of dust and mist. And he seems to disappear for a moment. Over by way of the church, you hear and feel a burst of magic as if he's using another one of the cores. I'm gonna have you make a skill check. There's a skill challenge coming up as you hear a ripping sound and you see a large chunk of the wall surrounding the church gets ripped off and seems to hurtle towards you.
Yeah, try and grapple it and effectively use its momentum to throw it at one of the pile of the billion Onir.
Go ahead then, roll
Destroying like all of these.
roll me an athletics check against Saber's athletics.
Oh shit!
Heckin'! As this large chunk of the church wall and foundation comes towards you, you drive your halberd into the ground beside you, put your arms up and grab it. You get pushed back several feet and you lift it up. It's the size of like twice the size of a minivan, this chunk. And then you just lift it, turn, hurl it towards several of the Oni. It drives through that side over there, taking out all of those Oni as it does. You hear faint footsteps coming towards you. But from the dust and whatnot that is surrounding you, as this whole event has caused a bit of a smokescreen surrounding you. Saber's trying to come at you. You can't tell where he is. He is somewhere in the area surrounding you. With knowing how he fights, you predict that he would go for... He seems to favor overhand downward strikes. You manage to take your halberd out of the ground. As his image appears from the smoke, he brings the blade down on you and you block it. As he brings the blade down on you, you manage to bring your halberd up and you stop it. He stumbles back from the force of these two great blows meeting each other. You bring the halberd in, lock it in the bladed part, twist it, and you send Khalidbalg flying away from him. It lands over near where the wagon is. As you do this, he looks initially surprised, and then you just see He gets this huge toothy grin at you as he's like stumbling back, seeing his own weapon go flying away from him. And he's going to try to punch you with his arm and try to knock you prone. He does manage to hit you. You take 6 bludgeoning damage. As he hits you, he's going to release energy from the generation engine, and he is going to try to knock you down. As he punches you, now that you're knocked prone, he does move back over towards his sword, and he is going to interaction grab it.
I am gonna launch into my series of attacks. I'll use an inspirational.
Alrighty. Heckin' hit him! You hit him! And you strike into him. The wagon behind him buckles from the force of your attack hitting him, and it falls over on its side just from him blocking it. It's your first attack. That's a miss.
Ooh.
That is a miss.
Nice one.
And that's a nat 1. So yeah, he takes the first hit, but he manages to deflect your next 2 hits, and then your next one, he digs his foot into the ground, and with the strength of a servant, causes the ground to become slightly uneven, so as you step forward into your next attack, you buckle slightly, and your attack goes wide. Now that we no longer have him bothering us, this is the first time that I've had the 2 of you alone, relatively, without the watchful eyes of your father here. I fully understand that there's no way to stop you from pursuing your father, and I don't think that what he's doing is right. But I really don't think it matters. I want to know, if you do reach him inside the Grail, what do you plan to do?
Stop him.
You don't intend to try to save him at all, I assume.
We're gonna stop him whatever way we can.
No matter how we feel about it personally.
Ah, then you are his children. His perspective is similar. From your words to him, I can tell that you still think that there's some shred of human decency left in him, but unfortunately your father always was, and always will be, just a morbid chunk of flesh that developed a mind. And currently, it's fighting for the survival of its, I wouldn't use the word spawn, but that's probably more fitting for the instinct. You should absolutely destroy him if you do get to him. Crush him under your feet. Let that be your answer. Tell him that the world that he wants for you is worthless. If that's what makes you happy, anyways.
If you really think there's no convincing our dad, then why was he so afraid to face us that he created a simulacrum to fight us in his stead?
Because he had to be inside the Grail when I died. If I die. You see, the inside of the Grail is what's known as the Moon Cell. He discovered this whenever he was studying it. To enter into it at this stage requires you have an active contract. If you do not have a contract with a servant, going down into that basement will just lead to going into a large empty space. So he had to make sure that he was inside already in case something happened to me. Once you're in, you're in. Which is why all that matters is, she turns towards Suzume, the eradication of this monstrosity. Because once it's gone, you won't be able to even reach your father.
But once you're dead, he won't have a servant. He can't make a wish.
Is that the assumption you've come to? You've known from the beginning that one master and one servant would be able to make a wish. And certainly, all of you were led to believe that it is whichever winning pair reaches it. But what guarantee do you have that that's the case? Rather, inside of the Moon Cell, the world inside of the Grail, it's far more logical that whoever the last master standing is and whoever the last servant standing is would get their wish. He's already inside, like I said, which means he only needs to eliminate one person. But I take it, and her eyes like narrow on you, Isla, I take it that that's all the more reason for you to try to get to him, considering who the person he has to eliminate is. The reason I accepted your father's wish is because he wants to create a world that is fueled entirely by an intense love for his children. When I met him, I would have dismissed him. I would have killed him immediately for bringing me into this world. But if I'm being honest, the current world doesn't matter to me either. So I thought, a contest between the love of his children and his love for his children would be far more interesting to see through than to just kill him on the spot.
Love isn't about sacrificing anything to get what you want. Sacrificing anything of yourself to protect the people you love. Killing 80% of the world isn't love. It's just genocide.
The action certainly isn't. I agree entirely. To kill is not what love is. But love is what's driven him to that point. And that's an undeniable fact. You claim that it's the eradication of a species, but he's not human. He's trying to prevent the eradication of his own species. But I understand. Our views of the concept are of course incompatible. We see things from two different sides. She spreads her wings again, starts floating off the ground. I have no illusions about you turning back. I would never try to convince you to. That would be to betray your instincts. I was born because humans wished for an avatar of love. Something that they could project their jealousy and obsession onto. So of course, my view of it is incompatible with yours.
Definitely seems like we're never going to agree on this.
Before you continue fighting, the last thing I will say, and I said it to you before, always remember, no matter what happens, that you two were deeply loved. No matter how flawed your parents were, everything that they did out of a possibly misguided, deep love for you. They hoped that the world would become safe for you. Their methods are extreme, but that's what they felt. If you do convince him not to do this, I will consider that the ultimate victory for me. But I will do what he asked me to do. She, runs her hands through her hair. Suzume stands completely up, tightens her fist, and she swings her sword up. As she does, several wounds appear on Ryder, just all at once. Just several small gashes, nothing huge individually, but enough that she's losing blood relatively quickly. When she sees it, she just looks at them and goes, "Oh my. Oh, I see. All right. Fucking blade beam time. Here they come."
The Suzume machine gun.
These ones do not get criticals with the same range, because they're ranged attacks, and her critical range is for melee, just FYI. She got a Nat19 on that, though, so bear. Hits. 2. I'm just going to roll all the attacks to see how many hit. So, miss. That was 2. Hit. Miss. Hit. And now she's into her next ones. Hit. That's 3 hits. Miss. Nat19. Heckin' 4 hits. And then a Nat1. So she's going to roll damage for damage. I'll let you know how much Venus takes in total here in a sec. That is 22, 30, and 24, and 15.
Oh, she ain't looking great.
No, Venus is looking... Those fire Venus is looking pretty gosh darn shredded by those. Suzume is particularly aiming for her wings, if she can help it, trying to hit them, but no critical hits, so that flavor text isn't going to happen. As the beams fire through the air and are chasing her, there's effectively Macross spam of blade beams coming at her as she dodges around. Ryder at this point is demonstrating why she's a rider servant. She's incredibly dexterous and fast in the air, but she does take those 4 hits. You need to focus on not healing me. As long as we're here, she's not going to be able to kill me. You don't need to do anything to help me. This is the site of my suicide. The only person who chooses how I die here is me.
You couldn't have told me that earlier. Like really?
We have 6-second increments that we already pushed to their maximum limit. I maybe...
Sorry, Isla. I just,
Yeah, sorry.
feel like bringing up my trauma every couple of seconds.
Yeah.
But how long are
Okay,
layer
okay, good.
actions?
Okay, good. But if my boyfriend dies because I don't have enough potions,
I was too busy explaining
That's all
all my
I'm
layer
saying.
actions, is what
I
happened.
I get that. I know.
I was too busy
I know.
handing you the pamphlet upon which it listed the spell level and actions I could take while I was
I
here.
was trying to keep it away from my fire sword so that I didn't burn it.
See,
You know
now
what?
we're-
It's fine.
we were
We'll
both at
just
fault
do the
then.
best
It's
that
just-
we
this
can.
is on both of us
Okay.
then.
All right.
All right,
Okay.
so I've been clear now, though.
Kill
No,
her, kill her!
she just puts her sword on the ground, just points at both of you. So no healing me. I'm at my best. I'm
Yes!
fine. Take care of yourselves.
Fine.
All right.
Yes.
Cannon. Shoot your mom.
It's like this guy's not even in front of you. Don't
You
even
killed
worry
your
about it.
dad. Finish off your mom.
Oh, shoot our mom.
Yay.
No, you're not shooting your mom. You're shooting the goddess of
As
love.
as you aim your gun at your mom, she crosses her arms and gives you a very disappointed look.
It's like, oh, don't be like that.
You a bitch.
You don't have to make this hard for both of us.
Oh.
That is a hit.
Excellent. I will also try and shoot for her wing, seeing as how that's what Suzume looked like she was doing.
Yeah. You fire, it hits, whenever you shoot it at her, though it does hit her, she puts her hand up and rather gracefully baps it away with her arm. It does seem to damage her arm a bit, but it didn't, she's a servant, it didn't bug her as much as it would of a normal creature. The flowers around you guys are getting, like, blasted up from the continuing to build flurry of arrows of pink radiant blasts of energy from riders. They become more numerous. As we do that, we then cut back away to the saber fight! He's gonna look over towards you and just be like, oh, don't run! And he's just gonna, like, tilt his head back. Come on! He's gonna turn, look over towards this guy, rush towards this Oni. He's gonna make an athletics check
throw
against
it at
that
him?
Oni.
That's fair.
He's gonna roll. Oh, he beat him. I'm not even gonna roll for the Oni. He grabs him, turns towards him. Come back and fight me, Lancer! And he whiffs him over at you. The Oni soars through the air. Lancer, as it comes towards you, put your halberd out and skewer the Oni on it as it comes towards you. Killing it and, like, ripping it to the side. Attempt number 2.
Why is he like this?
So he's just, oh my god, he rolled a critical throwing the Oni! The other Oni, as this is happening, as Saber's grabbing them and hurtling them at you. I'm not gonna have him roll off the servant critical table, because he's attacking you with an Oni.
An improvised weapon, precision Oni.
Improvised Oni. The other Oni surrounding him as this happens are just backing up as he's running through them, grabbing them and hurling at them at you.
Like, stand
They're
aside,
just like,
stand
oh! He, like, looks to one close by him, it puts its hands up and steps back.
The ones that he grabbed, like, are compelled to stay away, so they're moving. No. I think it's time we end this.
Oh.
I'm moving in.
Oh!
Yeah! Might as well go.
You see his eyes just come to life as he sees you using your noble phantasm. That's a... So, apply the effect. Apply the effect twice.
Where are you? It's been so...
That's 2. Here we go. You can redo that one. That's your inspiration.
Negating it, removing inspiration.
That's a hit. You're at 4, so you've now met your quota for hitting on all your attacks in one turn. Everything after here is frosting. 5.
Get that
Come on, Lancer.
6.
You are so far away.
Miss.
Ah! Damn it! 6 is still good.
Go ahead and roll your damage.
Do it, my boy.
Oh!
You do 121, cut in half, because he managed to make the dex save. As you hit him with it, his armor in particular has some interaction with it and seems to absorb some of the damage. He still takes the 60, but as he skids back, as you strike him with 6 attacks worth of damage, he skids back, grinds to a halt, falls forward. Oh! Okay! I'm glad I wore this! So that's what you do? That's your noble phantasm.
Didn't work so well last time I tried it on you.
I didn't feel the full effect last time. How much could you have gone on with that?
Forever, technically.
Wow, you're a real one-man army. If you were fighting somebody that wasn't able to take a hit, that would just be it for them, huh? He stands up slowly. He takes one of his hands and hits the front of his armor. Glad I put this on. I don't need it in most cases. And it slows me right down. But it helps me endure things like that. Oh, come on!
Fighting to win, Saber.
You should fight for fun! Alright.
I don't have that luxury.
How you do? Okay, so you guys, the hallway cracks and shatters. It peels away again, and you're once again in the middle of those statues.
Cool.
Oh,
All right.
You guys are.
Nice. All right.
Oh, you guys are. Sorry, guys.
I
I'm
don't.
back.
You're
We went
marking.
with you again. Anyway.
You're marking off paths. That's adorable.
Shut up.
Alone.
I don't like you right now, Logan.
You love me right now.
You shut up. Shut up.
I love you. I love you.
Fuck you.
He just looks at you guys. Looks
You're
at
trying to
everyone.
kill us.
Yes.
How dare you?
I don't think either of them have Suzume in it.
That's what you were looking for?
What? Are we supposed to be doing something else?
We're supposed to be finding Quantavius.
Didn't Quantavius go with Suzume?
That was
You don't fucking know. Shut your mouth.
something going on with Quantavius. I'm not fully convinced that was all of him, at least.
Sorry, I'm not very good with magic.
I can tell.
Ridiculous.
We found out that we shouldn't follow you. I'm guessing these are statues of the servants,
Yeah.
at least what they represent. The ones that are still alive seem to be more well kept, like the one of Saber here and the one of Lancer there.
They're different?
Well, compare the Lancer or the Caster one there.
Should we try to go down somewhere else? If they're different, then that's something that's changed, right? Did you find Ryder?
We haven't found Ryder yet. There's two we have to check still. That one and
I'll
that
check.
one.
All right, so that'll be Jean's action. That one. Wah, that one's holding up a whip that it is in like mid lash forward with.
Ah, that's
I
right.
found Lion Tamer.
That.
Yes.
I don't know what all the servants are. Is there a Lion Tamer or a Seductress servant?
Have you met
Think
Ryder?
real hard.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Oh, that's what Ryder is. I
Have
found
we
it.
have we met BDSM? Which
You
is the
alright?
BDSM?
Yeah, I know.
Does anybody inspect the last one?
Now we can presume.
Yeah, fuck Berserker.
Fuck him.
It's just like a perfectly rendered, like it's not a knight, it's just like Sterling standing in like catwalk pose with his hands on his
Hell
hips.
So he was
let's-
finally turned
let's-
into a statue after turning everyone else into statues. Ryder would potentially maybe be more linked with Contavious, but points to
Yeah,
Lancer.
that's what
This one is your servant, so maybe that's the way you need to go.
That makes a lot of
Eh.
sense.
And then he points to Saber.
I mean,
Then he points to Saber. And fuck Saber.
yeah, fuck
Am
that
I
guy.
right?
I think I'm gonna head down the Lancer one to see what.
Then
If it leads me back here, then I think we should go to the Ryder one.
I'll go with you.
So you guys are all going that way?
Yeah.
Okay. You guys head down and enter into another hallway. The snow peels away after a while, and we'll find out what happens to you at the beginning of the next round. Burp, burp, burp.
Yay!
Izzy's peeing. Stay with them.
What say you, my buddies? What layer action mightest you take this time?
Izzy's taking the P layer accent.
Oh, I see.
It's up to Gary. Choose, Gary.
Ryder is going to... Ryder's going to throw herself off the edge.
No!
Are you fucking serious?
Interesting strategy.
She steps back and she throws herself off the edge.
So she dies.
No.
She's dead
She
now.
goes and meets a lovely fox girl.
Oh.
Gisei comes out of nowhere and slices at her.
She gives a very coy look to the lot of you and like blows a kiss at you as she falls backwards off the edge of the reality marble. You guys don't know how much distance is down there. You'd hear Suzume just utter, "Oh, you bitch. I'll be back." And she is going to rush, and she is going to also jump off the edge after Ryder.
What is she doing?
I don't know.
Flames!
We shouldn't follow her, right?
Probably not.
The remainder of Suzume's turn. As she leaps off the edge, she's going to fall at the same rate as Ryder, so she's not going to be able to catch up with Ryder. But she is going to use her remaining 7 attacks to do blade beams. You guys see up above you, you hear a noise, you see clouds begin swirling around you. But for the remainder of this turn, Isla.
What? I'm just gonna look at Ian and be like, "What do we do?
Follow them?
FYI,
Really?
FYI,
I
all
don't
of
know.
fall speed, they would both be down 500 feet.
Really?
Not over the edge, but like close to it. We're not doing any good over here.
Alright. I guess I'll just move as much as she can towards the edge.
Loki, do you want to repeat what you said just for the turn?
Yeah, just repeating that, Suzume and Ryder are both down 500 feet, just in
There's
case
no way
that
we can see
calculates
it.
into anything. I mean, you can probably see them. They're just 500 feet away.
Also, something seems to be going on above you guys.
What?
Didn't you say like clouds were swirling above
Yeah,
you?
clouds are swirling up above you. The sky seems to be doing something.
What the? Fuck. Okay, I'm gonna look at that then. The fuck's going on there? Tell me.
When I heard about this place from Darius and Darius and Maple, rather.
Darius and
Yourmir's
myself.
the best.
Darius and me.
Darius, I heard about it from me. They said that when they were at this place previously, they jumped off and they were fine when they hit the ground.
Dude, I just realized that they would totally talk about that because that was the whole fucking "you're pretty neat" situation. They would totally talk about that. Anyway, just gonna look above them and be like, "Do we jump off?"
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't like whatever that is. Points up.
Maybe you could ask Suzume in your head.
All the cool kids are doing
That's
it.
true. Suzume, are you okay? We don't really know what to do. Should we jump off after you?
We'll be back in a second. You don't need to worry.
Oh,
Thank you, Suzume.
so not
Okey-dokey.
jumping off. Okay.
This
She
place
said-
is
she
a
said
limited
not to
world.
jump
There's
off.
no way to escape it. This place doesn't expand out beyond the garden where I killed myself. So to attempt to escape it would just mean to loop back around. Watch out above you.
Fuck you, Ryder.
Damn you, God! Oh yeah, I gotta get rid of that Oni. It's gone.
Aspect of God, thank you.
Oh, sorry.
Gosh.
It ain't easy being Jeezy.
Our screen.
Thanks, I hate it.
This is basically what I expected, but somehow more exhilarating than I thought it would be. You can't tell me you're not having fun right now, Lancer.
Sorry to break it to you, but this isn't fun for me at all.
Oh. He, like, puts his greatsword on the ground and pushes himself up with it, clearly struggling to stand slightly. What do you have to wish for? That is so important that you'd fight a loveless battle, then. I'm here for the war, not the wish. So what wish do you want?
I have to fix a mistake I made a long time ago.
That's it?
That's it.
Well, what's the point in that?
Honor, mostly.
You don't
Keeping
believe
a
in
fool
that.
From being an idiot. I don't, but I wish I could.
Well, if your wish is that you want to fix a mistake you made, then I hope someone wins whatever next war comes around and undoes this, 'cause you're making a big mistake right now. Maybe someone can wish for you to have a sense of humor. He, like, wipes blood away from his face.
Oh, Lancer did a laugh.
I did it. I
did a
made him
giggle.
laugh.
Lancer did a giggle.
Hey,
Well,
guy,
there's no point in continuing anymore.
what's even the point? Like, we're done as of that. He's defeated Lancer.
Can he really be called Lancer anymore?
Going to you guys. You end up back in the center again.
We did it.
You hear again a voice in the back of your head. Where does it begin?
I don't know! Voice in my head! Fuck off!
You see, appearing from within them, a very, very bloodied, like, just drenched in her own blood, Suzume, to the point where her glowing red eye almost seems to just blend in with the color of her skin. She's gonna actually push you slightly out of the way when she does this. Like I said, only I can kill me here. And she looks to the two of you. Her eye just shifts over towards you, Isla. I'm going to be needing your blood. Sorry. She's gonna do blade beams. She puts her hand up, and rather than forming around her and firing forwards, blades just seem to fire out of the ground towards Ryder. She keeps firing them towards Ryder, who she hit with all of them. Ryder puts her hand up. A bunch of the arrows begin trying to intercept the various blades coming at her, but they don't manage to. Ryder just, very assertive is like, I'll kill you as many times as I have to. Drain them of blood if you must. I would expect no less from a starving beast. And what is the do, you Ian boy?
I'm thinking, maybe I will also try and bomb the flying lady.
Go for it.
Baby boom! I'll do it.
Diggity dong.
Exactly. A bibbidi bomb, bibbidi dong. That's
That-
better than mine.
That's a hit. Go ahead and roll that bomb.
Hit it!
You might.
God!
Whoa! Eclipse.
You did this with my thing! Bounce in my thing!
I, from down in the basement, I'm like, by the power of my command seal, Lancer, heal yourself and win this fight.
He charges towards you, braces his foot in the ground. He's going to use that action surge that he saved.
God damn it!
See that thing you were doing before? You
At
need
this point, my helmet probably fall off.
Yep. It shatters. He misses his first attack. Misses his second attack. Misses. Oh, hits with his third. Damage. Strikes you. At around this point, your command seal takes effect. You reach down and you brace your arm against the greatsword as it hits it. It strikes your gauntlet, breaking the armor off of your arm. He goes for his last attack. And he hits. Dealing 14 damage. You hit it. Again, it cracks down the gauntlet on your other arm. Your entire arm is just exposed entirely. A large gash ripped down it. Your turn. Hit. Damage.
Do him a death.
He buckles back from that attack. Coughs up some blood. Go ahead and roll damage. As you go for that attack, not to do a how do you want to do this, as he buckles back from the other attack, as you bring that one down, he does put his arm up very quickly and goes, "Wait!" Do you hold that?
Yep.
He stops. As he does, he stumbles back, drops his sword, falls down to his knee. Okay. I wouldn't have been able to take that. You see, you feel magic entering your mind. You have every right to kill me right now. And you've absolutely earned it. But you should go help your friends. You hear the clattering of armor from the mists around you. You see Saber's body become translucent for a moment. When it does, he quickly grabs the hilt of his greatsword. You could finish me off, but then how could I give you the send-off that you deserve?
You won that fight, Saber.
Hey, before you go, you feel your mind be affected and intruded by magic. Even your protection from fairy's skill doesn't do anything to it. I pumped all the magic in this arm into this stupid skill of mine. Lancer, he stands up. Why don't you go and take the Holy Grail? And next time around, you give it to me.
Sounds like a deal to me.
The army begins moving in. He puts his sword up and you see his prana bursts surround it. Get out of here. These guys are probably endless, but they're pretty tightly packed. I got them.
Give him hell, Fergus. And Lancer will disappear.
And you head off into there. He turns as you take off, probably going through the hole that he left when he threw a chunk of the church at you. Looks at the demons coming towards him. I've done this with you guys once before. I'm gonna do a thing real quick. This is for me. I apologize if this crashes Fantasy Ground, but this is for me.
Oh god.
Is he gonna attack all of them?
That's what's about to fucking happen, boy.
He starts walking towards the army as Lancer takes off and moves back. This was fun. I'm glad that I could do at least something for somebody while I was here, though I would have preferred to see that woman at the end. Oh well, Orla. It's better that you didn't need me to fix your problem. He takes his sword, points it in the air as the demons all begin rushing towards him. Come at me! I'll take every one of you at once! His sword ignites, lets off this rainbow light. Call it Bulk! Great King Slayer! And he swings towards the nearest one that comes towards him. We won't be needing this map anymore.
The map explodes. Everything on the map explodes. You see that card? Yeah, that card exploded.
The screen cuts away just as his sword is about to make contact with one of them. As you end up back in the center, you guys hear a cracking sound, and you see the, arrive just back in time enough to see the saber statue. The gold trimming on it breaks, the whole statue seems to shatter and gets rebuilt out of regular stone.
I guess that bodes well.
So, Suzume takes a couple of steps forward as things are about to happen. We return to the reality marble. Ryder briefly, she's breathing very heavily. She seems very hurt, but her body is moving despite the fact that for all intents and purposes, she should be dead. Suzume takes several steps forward. I spent my life killing random people. I never thought that I'd get the chance to bleed a god dry. As she does, the demon behind her disappears. You see a trail in the flowers around you appear suddenly as something invisible rushes out from behind her, springs upwards, and her Oni just appears behind Ryder, like dwarfing her, looming over her, and reaches down and grabs her, crumpling both her wings inwards. That works. Ryder is restrained and incapacitated. However, she doesn't need to take any actions on her own to use the arrows that have built up in the area. So, Ryder gets grabbed. How dare you touch me? How dare something as filthy as you touch a god? As she does that, she's going to go ahead and go on her turn. She's going to make a death save. She has to beat a 15. She got a 10. She automatically fails a second one.
It'd be funny if she nat one right there.
And then just dies. Just,
How dare you
touch a Dying here is inconsequential to me, but I refuse to be killed by you. And she is going to do 5 of her attacks. And she's going to aim for Suzume, who Suzume backs up and gets away from you guys as these attacks come at her, trying to get herself out of range of accidentally catching you in it. Arrows collide with the ground. She gets hit. She wants more HD from you guys. Are you guys good to give more HD?
Take my blood!
Kill me, Suzume!
She would like both of you. She gets hit. A large hole is blasted through her chest. Like if the entire section of her chest where her heart should be is just blown straight through. And then you just hear her yell out, "Calva Felix!" As she does, all of the arrows at once stop and all fire at her immediately. That missed Ian. It hit Isla and it hit Suzume. And that had been going for, so that is going to be this much damage.
Okay.
Oh!
Yo, strikes again. Yo, twins. She needs more HD.
I have 1 left.
Give up your.
I have 9 left.
She would like 4 of them.
Hey, Diane.
Yeah.
Isn't it great being healthy?
Yeah.
So as that happens, as it blasts, you guys get hurt and caught in it. After this massive eruption of energy, the smoke clears from where that happened. It just spirals outwards as if there's a big an upheaval of energy from the inside. The smoke where Suzume was clears, and she will have used the second part of Demon Drive to teleport up next to Ryder. You don't know how to care for children. She reaches out, grabs Ryder by the forehead, pulling her hair up and pulling her her entire body upwards with one of her arms. These are the hands you didn't want touching you, right? You miserable god. And she drives the blade through Ryder's chest, through her heart and out the other side. As she does, the demon lets go, conjures up its own larger version of the blade. Suzume pulls her sword out, and the other one drives its blade in from behind her, impaling her on a spear-sized sword. Then it pulls its own out. Suzume falls down to the ground. Ryder's body collapses near her. That makes Ryder. Suzume stumbles to the side as she lands, having just fallen, 15 feet? She leans up against one of the rocky outcrops that's nearby. Ryder is beginning to glitter away at this point. She rolls herself over. Her wings disappear. She rolls herself over onto her side and just looking straight up. So what now? Ian, Isla.
Yeah?
What is your future now?
I mean, nothing's Nothing's changed. We stop Dad, no matter what it takes.
I mean afterwards. How do you plan to live your life? I think that you have the strength to do it. I don't think that anybody's going to come and turn you into a victim. You've just proven that. But what happens to you after you have to stop your father?
Maybe we can finally stop fighting.
That'd be nice. It's been a long time since we've really slowed down.
I wish you could. I really wish you could.
What do you mean by that?
I think you're strong enough to survive. By this point, her, most of her body will have effectively glittered away. She's basically down to her torso, just staring straight up. Even if you're strong enough to survive, that's only because you're going to keep fighting forever. There are those in the world that won't tolerate you being alive with the blood you have. And someday you might find yourself twisted into something you don't want to be. You may have no choice. I wish there was a way for you to live normal lives, and maybe you'll survive. But you'll never stop fighting. That's the future your father's trying to fight against.
I won't lie, that's pretty disappointing. As long as I have my friends and family by my side, I think we'll be okay.
And honestly, almost all of the fighting we've had to do is because of him. So, you know.
I hope for your sake that maybe you're right, but this war has awakened in you latent demonic powers that you didn't even know you had. Hiding will be harder for you now, but I believe in you.
I think I believe in us too. We certainly haven't come across anything yet that can pull us apart.
Then go take the Grail, if you can reach it, and make whatever future you want to make with it. And I know that it's impossible to forgive him, but please at least pity your father.
I do.
I already do.
She closes her eyes. The last bit of her body glitters away. She becomes a fine, very radiant, soft pink mist that disperses into the wind. You just hear Suzume off on the side, leaning up against the rock. And with that, presumably the last servant of the war falls, and the Grail will belong to Lancer.
Hard to believe we're really that close.
We still need to stop that.
Yeah, this won't slow him down. Not at all.
And if what she's saying true, then he like, if it, fuck, I can't even talk, I'm so upset. If what she said was true, he could still win.
You'll have to rely on David. If what Ryder said was true, then I'm not sure you're gonna be able to... If I'd known that going in. No, there was no choice. I had to use this place.
Yeah, you did what you had to do. You saved all of us.
That's the right thing. We also don't know if Dad's right. He could be wrong.
Yeah, so... Dad may be confident, but this is all new to pretty much all of us, to one extent or another.
Suzume gets off of the crag that she's leaning against, walks over to you, Isla. The Oni swordsman that appears behind her, she looks up towards it briefly. It gives her a very intimidating glare and seems to step back and kneel down, turns into flame, turns into a small wisp of it, and circles around her and joins into her sword. You see her hold up her sword, and for the first time you see a scabbard just form out of thin air over the blade. Takes a breath, and she flips it around, holding it by the scabbard, and holds the handle out towards you, Isla.
Can I even use it?
You'll have to. This place is where I die. The moment I used this noble phantasm, I had committed to my own death. I'm afraid I won't be able to join you any further.
Like, tears are like welling up in her eyes, and she like slowly reaches out to take it from her and just kind of nods.
You might even be able to keep it after the war, if I'm being honest, as long as you keep feeding it blood. If you don't, it'll just become a regular sword, but unlike that stupid old man's, it has some staying power. She lets go of it. She looks very shaky. Thank you.
Thank you, Suzume. Oh shit, we did it. We're twinsies, man.
We can't thank you enough for helping us. We wouldn't have had a chance of getting this far without you.
Nodding.
I'm probably going to forget all of this next time I'm summoned, but I think I felt like I was alive for a while. It was nice. Thanks for treating me like a person for a while.
You are a person, Suzume. You're our friend.
Yeah.
When I met you, I told you I was as good as a nameless weapon. So, I'm gonna live up to that. Hopefully my sword comes in handy. She steps back from you guys. The blood surrounding the area that's staining all the flowers begins to recede and seems to be slowly focusing in on where she is. Try to find some peace. I lived my life wandering aimlessly, plagued by a demon, so I understand you guys. Try to have a happy ending.
I wouldn't worry about us. I think we're gonna be alright.
And she smiles. Oh, before I forget. She undoes her hair, taking the flower out of it. I never used this. You might as well take it with you.
What is it?
Whenever I was summoned, someone's life had been involved as the catalyst for summoning me and Castor. Someone who had sacrificed themselves, but they were happy about it. I felt the feelings that they felt at the end, and I didn't understand. I think I get it now. They had possessed this flower. It has restorative properties. It's not something I possessed in life. You should be able to use it to restore yourselves a little bit before things get crazy. According to Ryder, there's no way for you to get to your father now without me, but I believe that you can.
By our command seals, come with us, you bitch.
She hands the flower. She hands the flower over to Ian.
He'll take it. We'll do our best.
I can't leave, so you're gonna have to do it.
How?
I'm afraid the only way for you to leave here isn't particularly eloquent.
It's jumping, isn't it?
As long as I let you leave, if you go off the side, then... And once there's nobody left here but me, the field will come down, with me inside of it.
Would it be okay if we hugged you?
Can we?
Roll me persuasion.
Oh, you're not good at that.
The biggest challenge of all. If only I'd given you
I
guys
feel like I should use inspiration.
By the power of my command seal, let me hug you.
Yo, right?
You've got... How many of those do you have left?
I have 3
Got one each.
inspiration and 1 command seal.
Oh my god.
Oh.
Hug her. Roll that friggin'...
Hug
Oh,
her.
God. That's a 12.
What do I smell or something, Susan?
Hug her for the ones
We
who
lost
can't.
those swords.
I don't want you to hug me now.
Oh.
And then she walks towards the two of you and hugs both of you.
Oh. She wanted to hug you.
And I didn't know you for very long, large dragon man, but you're also very cool.
Here you are, Get on in here.
It's an honor to hear those words coming from you.
You guys hug for what seems like forever. And then she breaks off from you guys and starts walking towards the edge and just seems to stare out into the distance.
Is there anything we should tell Jean?
I want him to remember me however he remembers me. I want to have no influence over what he thinks.
I feel like he remembers you fondly.
Very much so.
He's a
I don't think there's
sentimental...
any taking that back now.
He's a sentimental, kind idiot that lets people take advantage of him.
The best kind, am I right?
Like you did, Suzume. I'm kidding.
I think the world could use more of him. Maybe if I'd met him when I was alive, things might have... it doesn't matter now. Go on. Put an end to this. It's your fight from here on out.
We won't let you down. We promise.
Yeah.
I'm waiting to hear that you say you jump off the side. I need to hear the words.
Well,
you jump.
I'm gonna go to the side and look off.
If
You did a bad thing there. You shouldn't have looked.
I know, she's dumb.
If we stay
Dormir,
here...
push them off. They're not even watching.
Dude, she's gonna like take Ian's hand, look to Yormir, hold out other hand.
Squeezing that hand tight.
Mm-hmm.
Try not to cry too much.
Yeah.
You two go on ahead.
No.
I'll be right behind you. I actually swear. Swear to Tiamat.
Fucking who?
Wait,
Alright.
you worship him?
Push!
Oh, y'all didn't know that about me?
Push him, Yormir! Get rid of them! Push him!
I push him.
And there they go.
You worship who? Push.
Don't worry about it.
For the souls of those who are lost here, for Gisei and Ellis, I'll fight on.
Eric, fucking please. I'm already weeping. What do you think you're doing?
And then he plummets. Susan, the wind blows. The clouds start to part. The flowers all begin to kick up and petals begin to swarm the area. A faint blue specter of a particular old man standing near where Suzume's grave would be in the center appears. She turns to look at it, her own body beginning to glitter away into crimson red particles. Thanks. I'm happy that you came to see me. The last time you come into the central area, the Lancer one appears to be not only gold trimmed, but certain parts of it appear to now be made out of gemstones. The statue actually looks like a full proper creature made of a combination of stone and diamond and gold. As you guys proceed and you try to go towards the basement, very quickly, a very large snowbank that is built up near it seems to collapse as you guys walk by, and you just hear a deep, "Hey." The snowbank falls away, and you guys see a mostly glittered away saber leaning against a wall. His sword, with the handle remaining beside him, mostly glittered away as well. I'm surprised that you guys made it back. It was gonna suck if I had to try to kill Ryder like this. It's a good job.
Dead. Don't worry about it, thanks.
Your friends are inside.
How did they look when they went in? Are they okay?
I didn't really care. They're fine. I don't know.
Yeah.
Lancer. I duked it out with Lancer. He won. Killed all these
I
guys.
figured.
Good day.
Good day.
Hey, you two. I've been hanging on because I wanted to talk to you briefly. Yeah.
About what exactly?
Sorry for what happened the first time we met. I don't feel bad about it necessarily. I was just doing what I was told to do.
And why did you apologize?
I don't know. Seemed like the thing to do.
Thing to do, yeah.
Listen, I'm dying. I don't gotta fucking rationalize anything I do to you. I was summoned into a place and told there was enemies in front of me. So I did what I had to. But may I just say, respect where it's due. When I first saw you two, scared animals, flailing wildly trying to survive, it would have killed you right there if that other berserker servant hadn't interfered. But that's not what you are anymore, is it? You did a lot of growing up in the last 5 years. I guess what I'm trying to say is, if I get another run at this, you two should consider summoning me in a future war. I wouldn't mind having a couple of masters like you.
Thank you for the way you've conducted yourself during all this. Showed a lot of respect to Assassin.
You put up a good fight.
I really appreciate that.
He put up a real good fight. He almost took me down. I mean, you had to use a command seal or two to make him do it, and I was just fighting all normal, but, remove that from the equation, and, yeah, you did a pretty good job.
Yeah, how about you fuck off?
Yeah. You were doing real well before.
Cloud turns into Assassin's face. Yeah, how about your fucking...
You're right, Lion King style. Fuck you, Saber. Oh, jeez.
So, yeah, I hope everything's cool. I hope you guys don't hold any grudges. Life's too short. Your friends went down there, but I think the pathway might be gone. This place feels substantially less magical than it did until a few moments ago. But you are welcome to go check.
How the fuck are we gonna get to them then?
Oh boy.
Not my problem. You guys have fun with the end of the world. The rest of him glitters away, him finally letting go.
He wasn't such a bad guy, was he?
They're all not such bad guys. It's what Logan's doing. It's disgusting.
But yeah.
You guys see a single person that you've never seen before standing amongst all of the bodies,
Jesus Christ.
looking straight up at the moon, which, as I've described before, is always directly locked above this place. Their back is to you. They're over at the base of the hill. You don't know when they got there. Their hands on their hip. It's a female figure. They're staring straight up at the sky. Looks like they're judging distances, based on how you can see them looking around. The figure turns over towards you guys, evidently having not noticed you up to this point.
Oh! I know what this is! Okay. Wait, I think I know what it is.
Walks
God
over.
damn it! Oh.
Walks over towards you guys. Walks right up to you.
Hi.
Walks past you. Looks
bye.
down the stairs. Looks back over to you. I think your friends are in the moon.
They're in the moon?
That's rough, buddy.
This place was a large gate until very recently, until moments ago. That gate went up into the moon.
So the gate's gone? How are we supposed to get to the moon?
And locks her eyes on you. Do you want to go to where they are? Without a servant? You'll probably die.
Doesn't matter.
We
Alright.
have to. Yeah.
I said that I'd help you out.
I knew it!
Oh, god damn it.
Couldn't tell what those horns were.
Yeah.
It didn't click.
Her cape, the two sides of it, seem to stretch out to the side like wings, and you see a large magic circle appear under the lot of you.
What are you doing?
If the destination is just inside of the moon, and if I know where a few of the people in there are, teleporting there shouldn't be a problem. We might miss, though, and we might end up in space. Oh, right. I guess you don't recognize me. That's your problem. And unless you're unwilling, she's going to teleport the lot of you.
I mean, we wanna go.
Yeah, let's
Go to
go.
space, bitch!
Let's go to space!
The area flashes and vanishes. You are no longer there. Yo, Lancer! You ended up in that map. Welcome to the end. Galliot, you have won the Holy Grail War. There's no need for you to proceed further.
And the Grail?
You're within it. By entering here, you have returned your own spirit body to the Grail, and it is ready to grant your wish. The Masters do remain up ahead, but reaching them for you is unnecessary and impossible. Your fight might as well end here. Tell me, Lancer. Tell me your wish so that I might grant it for you.
I wish that the knight, Sir Lancelot, never made the promise to be buried to his friend, Sir Galliot, and instead was buried next to Guinevere.
You're certain that that's what you want?
Absolutely.
Then it shall be. May you return yourself to the Grail, your mind to the throne, and may some version of you, in some parallel world, find some joy in this. You feel your body beginning to dissolve, becoming translucent. David!
Yeah, man.
Your command seal disappears.
No!
With this, you see in front of you the small ball seems to expand outward, and from it, from the light that encapsulates it, you see what looks like the form of Lancelot standing in front of you. From this action, the Moon Festival is over. Now a master need only make their wish, and the ritual can be complete. Thank you for helping to give me shape. And with that, Galliot vanishes. His roll.
I didn't even get to say bye to him, Logan.
Yeah, I know, man.
This was
Aaron, why'd you have to win without us?
You bastard!
You fucking didn't talk to us at all through the game, and now you're gonna fucking die without talking to us? You piece of shit.
Why we drink the night before?
Back away from the Grail!
You see him turn his head towards you. A servant is won. A wish has been granted.
So it's their master's turn.
That means Ryder's gone.
Yes.
And with it, and with Ryder, your chances of winning.
Do you think so? So then where's your servant?
He seems to be gone. Might have already made his wish.
I'd say that puts us on about equal footing, wouldn't you? We were explained the rules of this war. They were explained to us by letters from that practitioner, who, I presume learned them from Twice. I imagine that they don't need to be correct right up until the end. He just needed to get us here.
What is that supposed to mean?
By the time the war reaches its end, we don't need to trust Twice. We're already in a position where we have to fight over the Grail. My presumption is that whatever master who entered here with a contract is left standing will get a wish. Do you realize where we're standing right now? It's quite amazing.
Well, it's too big to be a church's basement.
We're not within the realm of our world anymore. Theories about this place have been mentioned, passed around in mage circles. It's referred to as the Moon Cell. I believe that upon going into that basement, we have been moved inside the secondary moon. We're inside of an advanced processing unit. This reality we're in is likely virtual itself. Mind you, anything that happens here is real. It's
Crazy.
capable of processing information on such a level that it can bend reality itself, which is... I imagine this place exists without the Grail, but the Grail ritual is probably built to tap into it and make use of it. This existing would change our understanding of magic. But I don't think either of us is concerned about that.
Do you not care what your wish would do to this world?
I do.
How long do you think your kids will have after you make this wish?
If you're trying to appeal to my rationality, I gave up on that. My wish isn't based upon any kind of sound theory. I'm not trying to create an ideal or fair world. I selfishly want my children to live, whether or not that's okay with anyone else, and no matter whom that hurts.
At the turn of the century, nobody will live. I don't know if it's because of this or not. But that's what the caster of the next war said.
If I have to destroy the future to give one to my children, that's fine. I know my children would hate this decision.
No fucking duh.
You say that to me as if it should prompt some kind of revelation.
No.
You're in too deep.
I just wanted to hear it for myself.
David Dern, I am a monster that seeks to destroy mankind. If you're trying to hear me make a case for being something else, you're not going to get one from me. I will destroy this world for my family, selfishly, so that they can be happy even if they're miserable. That is who I am. And I'm fully aware that you cannot allow that. And as you prepare to fight, we're ending game.
Now!
No!
Let's go! Let's keep going!
How dare you?
That's
Keep
fine.
going.
I think not.
Fine.
Well, we will continue next week. Alright, everybody. We're gonna take off. We'll see you. Goodbye.
Bye. 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 Bye.